So the thing regarding the kidnapping. So also, if you look at I don't 100% agree with that, because it seems like the main mission of them was to kidnap people, as many as possible, because uh, they came well armed to all these different brigades. We had the PFLP, we had the Al Qassam brigades, the Hamas, other tons of different Palestinian militant groups that all worked together. And it seems later on, once they had essentially completed the majority of their mission, they started heading back into Gaza with the hostages and the bodies and the equipment. And then they started opening up the fence and allowing all the regular Palestinians to just come in. And it seems like that's who a lot of the people that have just been caught by Israeli security forces is these individuals. Because if you look at the photos, of course, they strip search them, but if you look at how they're dressed, they're not dressed like the militants. The militants did have a certain type of attire to them and how they were looking. And so my assume is that the majority of the actual militants have already left back to Gaza, because they've completed their mission by massacring hundreds of individuals and civilians and soldiers, and also kidnapping. And now the individuals who are currently still in Israel are, I guess, lone militant groups, not the main factions, and a lot of random Palestinians that are just as crime of opportunity. But there was fighting even late in the day. We know that Palestinian militants came back into Sderot much later on in the day and continued fighting there and shooting at civilians.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Why did our comments disappear? Did I fuck something up by mistake?
Someone just called me evil.
Yeah, I know.
No problem. I've been called worse.
No. But Daniel and Lior should not have been banned for their comments. Nothing but God. We could get rid of him. He's a loser. He's calling you evil. He's calling you stupid.
That's okay.
If you can't engage respectfully, if you disagree, share why. But just name calling is just the lowest form of conversation. So either grow up.
And they're welcome to join, right?
Yeah, you could join. Either grow up or get out. But Tal, are you able to go to the YouTube page and unban Daniel and Lior? I think that was a mistake. They didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Sorry, Daniel and Lior. We will bring you back. Nothing but God. If you want to come engage respectfully and share why you disagree instead of name calling, we'd love to have you on. But we don't need to facilitate your loser mentality. With all due respect. Isn't it interesting that when people say "with all due respect," it's normally followed by something not respectful at all? It's interesting.
And thank you for the compliment, Chris. He says that I sound like a U.S. citizen. Okay, thank you. That means my English is great. So
cool. Yeah, I think we all do. I think we all do, actually.
Yeah. So thank you. That's a compliment.
Cool. I'm gonna share some more videos.
Did you see the one I sent you?
No. Where'd you send it?
I sent it to your WhatsApp. It's just a quick comment from Alon Lee. I respect Alon Lee a lot. He's one of those people.
We're gonna watch it.
I don't know what words I can use to describe the terror and fear that we're facing here today in Israel. People are being dragged and killed and slaughtered in the south of Israel. They're being dragged from beneath their beds, from the safe houses, by armed people that are looking to hurt innocent people. Children, women, men, and it needs to be said in the clearest way possible that hurting innocent people is not justified. And even if the cause is freedom, and even if people are looking to fight for their own rights, you cannot do this. You cannot hurt innocent people. But another thing needs to be said today. This reality was not born today. This is a reality that we're facing for many, many, many years. A reality of occupation, of controlling millions of people that are living with no rights, with no freedom, with no independence. And as long as we're continuing, this is an alarm going right now here in Israel. I need to go. As long as we're continuing this reality, no one will be safe. We need to go in the opposite direction, a direction of peace and, living with rights and equality for everyone. I need to go now.
Yeah, cool. That's very much the ethos of our show here.
And that's why I said I respect him, because at the same time he condemns what's going on, and we should condemn.
Right.
We shouldn't lose our focus of what we need to do to solve it. We need to be rational and look at how do we solve it. Not like, for example, there was people yesterday saying we need to go back and establish the settlement of Gush Katif. Like, does that sound like a solution to go put that settlement back and then move 7,000 Israelis into Gaza? It's ridiculous, right?
Probably not. Yeah. Let's do a few more videos. So here's the recent. Oh, this is God that
I think we are. I think Justin. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, I was saying that. One sec. There was a attempted. I don't know if it was a stabbing, but there was an attempted attack in Jerusalem. It was stopped though.
okay.
Right now, just a few minutes ago. But what I was going to say was that something I was telling Adar in the morning is that this operation, this attack by Hamas and other
Oh, real
Palestinians.
quick, just because it's on the screen, do you know if this has been confirmed that Israeli helicopters have been shot down?
No, it's fake, and it's very obviously fake.
Okay.
That video.
Right. It seems kind of like a CGI, like a video game. You just can't trust what you see, huh? Justin.
That's the
Yeah.
danger of these Twitter
I know.
and these other things. Like, for example, before I went to sleep, they were saying that Ashkelon prison had been taken over, and this was Jazeera that was saying that. They were saying we're receiving reports. Was that confirmed, Tal? Did you hear anything about that?
Yeah. So other than two, I think it was Palestinian reports that said that. I didn't see Al Jazeera. There was nothing on the Israeli side, but there was some type of. We asked our friends in Ashkelon, and they said that there was some type of commotion, but nothing confirmed.
Okay.
Cool, Talstar. I cut you off, but what? So you were making a point.
Yeah, it's just that. Probably also your insights on this, but looking at what has happened today, let's just say tomorrow the Israel has taken over all of the kibbutzim and the settlements and the Gaza envelope, and now Israel's faced with what does it do about the hundreds of civilians and soldiers that are alive that are currently being held in Gaza. The last time we had this situation was with Gilad Shalit, who was alive. He was captured. I forgot. I think 2009 or 2006. I think 2006.
2006, I think. Yeah.
And as a result, I think 66 years later, he was released in a prisoner exchange where many Palestinians were released. Some of them with blood on their hands, individuals who had committed attacks against civilians were released. Some of them repeated offenders who continued to do it again and then were killed. And the question is, like, what does Israel do now? Does Israel go into a ground operation in Gaza, and then what? I mean, Israel can't take under its wing 2 million people who have not, they're already separate from Israel for almost 20 years now. You can't take them under your arm and have them as your citizens, or even as your occupied people. Like it's impossible. It's too many people. And at the same time, if Israel does go in for a ground operation, all those people that are kidnapped will be killed. Hamas will kill all of them, most likely. And so it leaves Israel in a very weird space on what does it do and how does it react. And I don't know how Israel's going to react to this. I mean, the government has shown a complete and utter failure in its abilities to protect its citizens. I personally expect to see the resignation of every single person in the government after this war is over. That includes the Ramatkal, that includes all the heads of the Shin Bet, the Mossad, all the current Israeli government. All of them should be resign after this because they are all responsible for this. But until then, what happens? And I don't know, maybe Justin, if you have some more insight, what you think as from a more of a Palestinian perspective, but this is very different than previous events where we just go into another cycle of violence. There's a change in how Israel might respond that could lead to long-lasting effects.